Hi friends, welcome to my studio. I'm Olga Koelsch and today we're going to paint a beautiful blue iris. So let's start. So let's paint our iris. This will be our central petal, stem, one petal which grows like this, and another one like this, and one petal is behind. Next step, I already prepared a very diluted mixture, is quinacridone rose and ultramarine blue. We will need it later. First, with the big brush, I'm watering the petal, should be very wet. And then with this mixture, I fill in all this watered petal and distribute the color following the petal main lines. Now I make a bit bolder mixture, again ultramarine plus quinacridone rose. It's bold, and with the tip of the brush I go along the edges. Here I would like to make some curves. With the tip of the brush I go along the edges in very random manner, sometimes just with dots, sometimes with thicker strokes to make it natural, nice. Sometimes I make some folds. To make folds, just add more of color. I clean the brush, I dry the brush, and I distribute this darker color with strokes which will imitate vines of the petal. Iris has a very certain big main vine in the middle, and other vines goes aside of this main vine. So now I just drag out the color to the center to make imitation of these small tiny vines and to create the main vine. I want to add some variety. I make a little bit of mixture which has more quinacridone rose in it, and here and there I insert some this more pinkish mixture to the petals. And again, with very clean and dry brush I distribute the color, and that's how I shape the volume of the petal. And a little bit more to emphasize the middle vine. And be careful, our petal is almost dry, and when it's dry, don't touch anything. And sometimes it's difficult to stop. Maybe add some color here. Yes, now it's really enough for now. And again, I will start to paint this petal. If you're right-handed, start from the left and the opposite, in the opposite way. I just watering this petal. Be careful not to overlap these two petals. I'm watering this area with clean water, and then I take our main mix our basic color. Now again I create mixture. It's quinacridone rose and ultramarine blue. It's now very bold, and with the tip of the brush, actually not with the tip of the brush, I press a little bit. I want to make this area a bit more darker and shape some folders. To shape some folders, I'm very brave. I'd add a lot of darker color in some areas, and with the tip of the brush I go along the edge with some wiggling movements, some curvy movements. Again, here I would like to make some curve, and here I clean the brush, I dry the brush, and here on this petal vines, this is the main vine, and little vines go like this. So I just drag out the color, the darker color, and distribute it on the petal. I dry the brush here and there, so it's not very wet. I could add some color. Here I dry the brush. I take on the tip of the brush our bold mixture, and with the tip of the brush I add some lines. It's almost dry. Be careful. And I want to make this fold a little bit more certain, so I remove some of the color on the sides. And here, right here, our iris has yellowish tones, so I take maple yellow, just a little bit of maple yellow and some little shades, and with clean brush I distribute it. It should be just a little bit, just to show that there is a little bit of yellowish color in it. Distribute and mix them in between. That's all with this petal. Same thing with the right petal. I water this petal with white water with clean water, and I fill in with our mix, more color at the end, at the bottom of the flower, and I do not touch this area. Let it stay transparent white. To make the folder, I take our bold mixture, I make this folder, I press on the belly of the brush, make a really big dark fold here, and with the tip of the brush I go along the edge with random moves. Sometimes press a little bit more, add a little bit more color, sometimes skip some parts, like this. Very playful, relaxed manner. And while it is wet, I will add our yellow, maple yellow, right in the wet area, and let the colors mix. But be careful, usually yellow and purple could create some like dirty grayish color, which we do not need. So just a little bit of yellow. That's enough. Just here where we left white space, now we could fill it with yellowish. That's all with yellow. I clean my brush, I dry my brush, And again the same thing. I distribute color. Sometimes it's easier to go from bottom to top, sometimes from top to bottom, just how it's more handy for you. It's important that vines, they look natural and follow the shape of the petal. I want to add just a little bit of color here and here, but it's already it's getting dangerous because it starts to dry, and you remember, when it dry, don't touch anything. When it starts to dry, even don't touch anything. So it's wet here. Let it dry and we will paint the stem. For the stem I take a little bit of sap green and mix it with our purple mixture to make it a little bit more emerald, and just make these parts with very brave moves, and I go and I'm shaping the stem. And on the top of green I add yellow, maple yellow, and let colors mix. And here we have iris have this little bit dried looking part, dried looking leaf, which we paint with the tip of the brush. Let colors mix one into each other, another, and I would like to emphasize it. I take a little bit of Van Dyke. It's dark brown color, so any dark brown color which shows us that it's a dry thing. So I emphasize some parts here and here. Just let them flow into each other and make a nice shape. That's basically it. Some little tiny details. Now I would like just to show the behind petal, and for this I take on my brush our bold mixture, and here will be our one part of that petal, and I want it to be really dark, so the darker the behind petal, the brighter and more sunshine and nice it will look in the front. And I just make it smooth. I'm not focusing on this behind petal. I just distribute color and do the same thing on this side. For me it's handy to turn the paper, also you could turn your paper. I just again take very dark color here and drag out randomly like this. And again I turn it back, take our mixture, and our petal goes here, and now it's a bit tricky because we need to paint in between our elements, but we will manage. Just be very careful. Again, a little bit of darker color, and then with clean dry brush you just distribute, drag out. No need to make any certain shape. Add some darker dots at the edges. Same on the other side. clean brush, clean and dry brush, just drag out this. And again, we're thinking about vines, how the petal goes, and redistribute colors a little bit according to this, but that's here it's not that important. So that's basically it. I want last steps. I want to emphasize some of the curves, and for this I take Boulder mixture, ultramarine plus quinacridone rose. We'll turn again our painting. I go along this curve randomly. And again I drag out this shade onto the petal, to the main petal, just to emphasize this. The same is here, this curve. Dark color and distribute it with dried brush. And here I, along the edge, darker mixture, and now you drag out color on this white light part. Very randomly again, we could create some little mini folders here and here and even here. I want to make one more folder here. Final touch for the central vine, and this is it. We have beautiful, transparent, lovely iris. Thank you so much for watching our video. Please let me know what's your favorite flower, how are you doing with the process, is everything easy or not easy for you. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. Follow me on Instagram. I'm very curious to see your results, and see you next time. Bye bye.